Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be profiling for you an update of my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. Now this is not Blue Eyes Chaos Max. I will do a deck profile of that later down the road in the year. I already have the deck, but I've just been very busy. But this is the main one that I've been playing. This is pretty much focusing on your synchros, your exceed monsters. It's more focused on that aspect. It's still a very powerful deck. It doesn't really rely on link monsters. Blue Eyes does. You make your powerful boards and you continue on from there. So that's how the deck mostly functions. It's still a very powerful deck overall. In a time before spirals come out, this is a pretty good deck, especially against like pendulum magicians and whatnot. So without further ado, let us get started on the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. So it's pretty standard, no sneaky little text or anything. This is the way I've run the deck for quite some time, and it works for me because I like making my Blue Eyes monsters and then protecting them with some traps. So first off, we got our 3 vanilla Blue Eyes White Dragons, the original OG ones that I used to play back in the day. We still run them, and I love these boys. This is how I got into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. Next up, your 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Hopefully this gets a reprint soon. This has been going up in price, but you definitely run 3 of this card. You reveal a vanilla Blue Eyes, special summon. You can special summon it, and then you can either use it for a synchro play, use its effect, pop a card, then go for a synchro play, go for a level 8 exceed. Very, very versatile. Then you run your 2 Spirit Dragon. This really helps out against your pendulum matchups because you can banish their scales, which is really nice, especially against pendulum magicians at this point in time because they're very popular. But very, very good card. Also helps you go for your level 9 synchro plays, your level 8 exceed plays. Then you run your 3 White Stone of the Ancients. White Stone of the Ancients, amazing card. Pretty much when this goes to the graveyard, if you guys don't know, you get to special, at the end of the turn, you get to special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. So you can special summon your vanilla or your spirit. Sometimes if you're going second and you activate this, then you're supposed to summon your spirit to banish your opponent's back row, or a field spell, or whatever the case may be, which is really nice. Or sometimes what you do is if you know you want a powerful monster, they don't have any back row per se, then you can just bring out a vanilla 3000 beater that they have to get around, which is sometimes nice. But you can also banish it from the graveyard to add a Blue Eyes from your deck, from your graveyard back to your hand, which is nice, and you can reactivate your trade-ins. So trade-in is never really dead in the deck at any point in time. We also run one of the Blue Eyes White Stones of Legend. This is getting reprinted, but this is from Duelist Pack Kaiba, so guys, keep an eye out if you want a holo rarity of this because of the reprints of the Seto Kaiba and Yugi packs that have been getting reprinted. This was a super in the Kaiba pack. I got this years ago as a first ed one. But if you guys want holos, they're just got a reprint. So, beside all that, you run one of this because you can add your Blue Eyes. It can be very versatile by adding a Blue Eyes to your hand, by sending it to the graveyard through Melody, through Twin Twister, through multiple different means, or Dragon Shrine to add a Blue Eyes to hand. That way you can go into alternative easily. So if you draw both, double alternative and no Blue Eyes, you can set yourself up by sending Stone to grave. Then we run your 3 Sages with the Eyes of Blue. Pretty standard. He's your mini Stratos. We do use his effect more versatile in this deck because we do run, and I know people don't like it, and I got it, but for me, it works for me, and it always seems to come in handy. Never been a problem. 1 Blue Eyes White Maiden. It's because you can use his effect if you have Maiden on the field to normal summon Maiden, pitch him from hand if you draw multiple, pitch him, target Maiden, get 2 Blue Eyes on the field that turn, and then you can go from there to do different things. So really useful as a 3 of. He's your searcher. He has multiple search targets. You can search out your Blue Eyes White Stone, your White Stone of the Ancients. You can also search out Master with the Eyes of Blue, your Blue Eyes White Maiden, and Effect Veiler, as we run as a 1 of. So very good card. Then we run 1 Master with the Eyes of Blue, and 1 Maiden with the Eyes of Blue. People don't like Maiden. I got it, okay? I like it because it works for me. And I love the card to death. And as a one-of, it's never been a problem, especially in a deck I'm running Pod Desires. Sometimes you just banish it, it doesn't matter. So it's perfectly fine. It's a decent top deck. It's fine. Sometimes you'll take it out for, you know, kaijus or whatnot in game 2. But you can get its effect off multiple times through your Sage, through your Master, multiple different means you can get its effect off to get 2 blows on the field on your turn. Or you could use it somewhat for a stall card by just summoning it and saying to your opponent, come at me. There's been multiple times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't have a tuner, and I'll actually just normal summon it as a tuner. So it's versatile. Master is really good because of the effect of targeting stuff and doing what he does to recycle. So I do like the one Master. There's multiple different ways of getting him engraved. So overall, I like the one Master in the deck. Then we run our 2 hand traps, 1 Max C because it's Max C, and 1 Effect Veiler because it's Effect Veiler. A lot of people don't like running Effect Veiler now because, you know, it's not as good as some other cards like Ghost Dash or whatnot, but in a deck where you can search it out, it's really powerful. So that's why I like it as a 1-of in the deck. You could run as a 2-of. I've seen people do that recently even, and that's possible because the fact that you can search it out so easily, and it can help prevent your opponent from going off because you can just Effect Veiler that one card. I mean, granted, in this era, it's not good against, you know, True Draco or things of that nature, but in rogue matchups, it's a very good card. Still. Then we run 3 Melody of the Awakened Dragons. Melody is, oh my gosh, I love this card. I've always loved the artwork of this card, by the way, guys. That it has Lord of D rocking out on a freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon guitar. Like, whoever thought of that, you are an amazing person for this artwork. So yes, this card's pretty simple. You pitch a card to the grave. It can be a white stone, a master. There's multiple different things you can get engraved to get benefits off of it. You get a Blue Eyes to hand, or you can get double alternative to hand, or Blue Eyes and alternative to hand. It's up to you depending upon your opening hand. Very, very, very good card. You run it as a 3-of every day of the week. Some people like it as a 2-of. I prefer 3-of. Next we run your 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. Amazing card. Please give this a reprint because I know this is like $10+ now. This card needs a reprint. We also won 1 Silver's Cry. Some people like running double of this now because we're in a, you know, the Link era, I guess you could say, and you have a harder time going for your Exceeds and Synchro plays because of the Link monsters. And this deck doesn't run Link monsters because it really, you can make them, but it's not worth the value to go into them at the moment. Maybe when Link Kaiba comes out, you could go down that road. Maybe I'm saying here, or Link Spider, maybe. But that's up to you. That's a completely different can of worms, and you would have to be very innovative with that, and you may have consistency issues. Because sometimes, I mean, you already have a little bit of consistency issues with this deck to some degree, because you're running a whole bunch of level 8s. But beside the point, 1 Silver's Cry, you could run double. I don't like running double. And triple Return of the Dragon Lords, which you can banish to protect your dragon monsters, which is really nice. Word to the wise from playing this deck throughout the years. Activate this as soon as you can, because this is going to do you more good in grave. Don't just hold it to make a powerful play. Use it as soon as you can, because that card in grave to protect your dragons will come in handy more than anything else. Next we run your 1 Soul Charge, Sack Charge, whatever you want to call it. Great card in this deck. It's still, usually when if I have a bunch of dragons in grave and I go off with this, you're not going to win that turn, but you're going to make a very powerful board still, even in the Link era. Especially with the ability to reborn your Synchro Dragons and whatnot. And they go into your main monster zone. Next, 2 Dragon Shrine. Some people like running single, you know, they don't like running Dragon Shrine, but it sets up your graveyard. It helps out with those hands, making them better. It just, overall, I like it. Late game, not so much, but for setup, mid to late game, early and mid game, this card's amazing. So I like it as a 2 of in the deck. Then we run your triple trade-in. Always run trade-in in this deck. You have multiple ways of using it, and you can recycle your dragons through Whitestone of the Ancients. So, triple trade-in. Your 1 cards of consonants. You have multiple targets for this. You have your blue eyes, you have these, and then you have your triple stones. So you have literally 1, 2, 3, 4 targets for this. So yeah, 1 cards of consonants is not bad. It's just more draw power for the deck, and you can easily, some of the easy things to get this card off is, say I open up with Sage and cards of consonants in my opening hand. To just get 2 draws off, you go normal summon, search whichever stone you really want, add it to your hand, activate cards of consonants, pitch, draw 2. And you got your stone in the graveyard, so you'll get added effects. So as a 1 of, great card. Then we run double Twin Twister. You could run Cosmic Cyclone depending upon your matchup, and I would highly suggest that, but Twin Twister is always worked well in the deck. I know we're not in a back row heavy format necessarily. I mean, they're all Paleozoic decks running around, so I mean, that's a thing. But saying all that, Twin Twister works out fairly well because you're pitching cards to the grave that you want in grave 90% of the time. So I like the Twin Twister, but you can side in your Cosmic Cyclones game 2. I don't own Ghost Ashes, so if you wanted to, you could side in your Ghost Ashes game 2, or just keep them in the main deck because of this current meta we're in. But that's up to you. Next we run, for some other draw cards, your Upstart Goblin and 1 Pod Desires. I know people don't like this. The deck is 43 cards, I believe it is. So you got a little leeway room there with Pod Desires. Some people like running double pot and blue eyes, and that is fine. You can do that, it works. But me, I just like the 1 Pod Desires in the deck. You could run double, it's up to you, but you're gonna have to run, you know, make it a little bit more thick, I guess you could say, the deck that is. And the 1 Desires, no matter what time you draw it, in your beginning, your mid, your late game, it will usually always be live, because you'll always have those 10 cards in deck to banish and draw 2. So I do like the 1 pot and the 1 Upstart Goblin. It's Upstart Goblin, draw a card. Like, come on. For removal in this format, I decided to tech in Dark Hole into the main deck because, well, Dark Hole is a great card. It's a 1 of, and board clearing is necessary in this format right now, it seems like. So we have the 1 Dark Hole and the 1 Regeki in the main. You could easily side these in game 2. If you're finding yourself always seeming to, I know there's some people out there that they always seem to lose the dice rolls, so they just prepare their decks to go in second, and then if they lose the first turn, then they have their side deck to go into. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is you could either put these in your side deck or main them. It's up to you. You could run Ghost Ashes, 2 Ghost Ashes right here, if you want to build your deck predicated to going first. If you feel that your deck, you're going to be going second more, then you would probably want to main these. But it's up to you to decide. I would definitely say at least run them in your main or side deck. Okay, now this is my preference. I know people don't like these cards, but it's the way I like playing Blue Eyes. So 1 Solemn Warning, triple Solemn Strike. I know that's a lot of life points right there, but what I like to do with Blue Eyes, and the way I've played the deck, and what has catered somewhat to my playing style, I guess you could say, of me playing Blue Eyes, and the way I play the deck, is I like having powerful monsters on the board backed up with 1 or 2 traps. And that way, when you go off, if you make, I know your deck well enough, I can stop that 1 play with a trap card, and there you go. Now, what you could do is if you're going first, you could keep these in your main deck. If you feel that you're going second, because that's the thing right now in this format, there's a lot of good cards out there, but you need to figure out what you're going to plan to build your deck towards, going first or going second. And this build of the deck, I just build it the best way for pretty much being as versatile as it can be, going first or second, pretty much. That's the way I built the deck. Like, you could take this in game 1, it would function. And then game 2, if you're going first or second, then you could work on, you know, side in the appropriate cards, depending upon the situation. That's the way I built this deck, trying to make it good going just overall first or second, then you can go into your side deck, which I don't have, but because I don't have Ghost Ashes. But that's the way I've proceeded the deck from playing online, and how I've played with the deck. And when I've taken it to tournaments once in a while and used Ghost Ashes of my buddies, that's the way you can use the deck as well. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is the way I like playing the deck is having something like, alright, I got a Spirit with 1 or 2 traps set, or I'm bluffing you with more cards. So like I have 1 trap set and maybe I have an Effect Veiler in hand. I can stop 2 of your effects. That's pretty good. So that's the way I like playing the deck. But I know other people don't like that. They like turboing out the deck. But that's up to you. I know some people don't like trap cards in this era because it's more slower, but I like the trap lineup. So you don't have to run this, but you could run other cards. You could run these Ghost Ashes. If you own them, you could run them. But it's up to you completely to decide that for yourself. So on to the side deck, we run our 2 Seto Kaiba tokens because they give us good luck in battle. May Seto Kaiba bless us. So yeah, double Seto Kaiba tokens. Your double Dragon Spirit, double Azure Eyes. I still find myself going for double Azure Eyes even in Link format. I'm just letting you know. Run it because you'll hate yourself if you don't have the second. Then we run Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, Michael the Michael the Arch Light Swarm, and Crystal Ring because you can easily make Crystal Ring by going Spirit into this on your turn, normal summoning a tuner, and going for Crystal Ring, which is amazing. Having a Crystal Ring and then having Blue Eyes to back it up with maybe Return the Dragon Lords Engrave is really stupid. So that's your synchro lineup right there. Next up, we got our Hope for our seeds. We have Hope Harbinger, number 68, Snap Hound the Sky Prison, or Sky Prison as I call it. This card's really good against certain matchups. It really, really, really is. I'm not joking right now. Then we have Alcei. Then we have our Galaxy lineup. We run number 62, Cypher Dragon, Full Armor Dragon. We run Galaxy Eye Cypher Blade Dragon, which sometimes is cool to go into, and then your standard lineup, which is number 95 Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. If you're not familiar with Blue Eyes, I will quickly tell you this. If you go for this, okay, you steal your opponent's monster, an Exceed monster. So if you steal their Exceed monster, like back in the day, if I stole Beatrice from playing against BA, well, that card now, Beatrice, I believe, is now treated as a Galaxy Eyes monster. I believe it is off the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah. Also, its effects are negated, and the attack becomes 3,000. Also, its name becomes Galaxy Eyes. So if you steal like an Exceed monster, and it's a Galaxy monster, so I'll steal a Beatrice, example. Then I can overlay with that Beatrice into this. Or I could overlay with Beatrice into that nowadays. So what I'm trying to say is, if you steal an opponent's Exceed monster with Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, you can use that to rank up into one of these guys. That's something nobody remembers, but you can do that because it's treated now as a Galaxy Eyes Exceed monster, which is stupid. But yeah, that is the deck, guys, in a nutshell. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I know it hasn't changed that much since the last time I profiled it, but I tried to give you a rundown for you guys that have A, not played Blue Eyes if you're watching this video, and B, if you're an old school player that's played Blue Eyes and you're a veteran of the deck, trying to give you a little bit of insight of other little things you can do to maybe better your plays or things you didn't know. Like, people forget that you can use Cypher Dragon to steal your opponent's Exceed monster and then, you know, throw something else on top of that because it's an Exceed monster. So that's a cool little thing that you can do. I did that a couple times against Zodiacs, which is funny, this past format. But yeah, till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, go Blue Eyes White Dragons. Always remember to screw the rules when you're playing Blue Eyes, and believe in the heart of Seto Kaiba. Take care, everybody. I'll see you guys next time.